I've done it again, haven't I? Everyone keeps telling me off. I keep starting my show on mute, and I've done it again tonight. Good evening, good evening, good evening to all of you. Hope you are well. Only going to do a cheeky little hour, just a cheeky little hour, and then I'm going to move over to Big Up to watch Arsenal versus Real Madrid, which should be a blockbuster of a game. I think the Real Madrid team is out, and we'll wait and see if the Arsenal team is out as well. But just thought we'd have a little chat about Spurs on this beautiful, well, it is here in South London, beautiful but cold-ish Tuesday evening. So good evening to each and every one of you. I hope you are well. What's happened in the last couple of weeks? By the way, the Arsenal team is out, and he has gone for Kiwior in defence, which I'm sure will please all of the Arsenal fans, that they were, no, not Kiwior, not Kiwior. Yep, you've got Kiwior. I actually don't think he's the worst centre-half I've ever seen. But he is going to be up tonight against Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. So good luck to the Arsenal. I actually think they might get something out of tonight's game. I truly believe they might get something out of tonight's game. Guys and girls, what's happened with Spurs this week? Well, we know as of this morning, Daniel Levy is paying himself a massive bonus. It's what he does. It's what he does. He pays himself out big money. We also know, according to Fabrizio Romano, that Timo Werner's love affair for the last 18 months at Tottenham Hotspur is over. And let's be brutally honest, it's been absolutely diabolical, hasn't it? It's been a shambles of a signing. And I don't even blame the player. I really don't even blame the player. Look, we knew he wasn't good enough. We signed him anyway. It didn't work. And we signed him again. And you know, when you sit there and you think, why are you signing him again? Why have you signed him again? And there were Spurs fans in their thousands supporting it in the summer. You remember? Oh, no. Everybody's negative. Can't believe it. Trust in the process. And people like Stella and I sat there and said, well, I'm afraid that set the tone, didn't it? It set the tone for the whole of the transfer window. And boy, did it set the tone for the transfer window. It was terrible from start to finish. Now, Paul, if you listen to how I said it, I actually said good luck to Arsenal, like they're playing against Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. The way it works. Come on, let's use this. Tottenham Hotspur, yes, no, Timo Werner next year. Shock, breaking news. Shock, horror. Shock, horror. But what are Spurs going to do then? We know that has now released 165 grand a week, which, if I'm not wrong, is somewhere in the region of about, I want to say, £8.5–9 million. Somebody will be able to let me know. Hey, the money's there, so he's going to go. Maybe Christian Romero's off. That will release another 150 odd grand, won't it? Is James Maddison going to want to be around? Sonny, he might be off. Surely the only reason they triggered his extension was so that they could sell him. Surely we're not having another year of Son. So these big salaries could be getting off the Spurs wage book. Let's have a little look. I'll say hello to a few of you in a minute. Don't you worry about that. Let's have a look at this. I saw a few things that I thought were quite funny. Big up to, only Tottenham Hotspur. Only Tottenham Hotspur. Look at, this is Leicester City's. This is Leicester City. Now, we know they lost last night as well. This is their games. And the only win in that game, in that run of games, that sequence, is Tottenham Hotspur. What an utter embarrassment. And then Johnny, big up to Johnny, put this out. He said, shambolic Leicester have 10 losses in a row at home without scoring, and that's an EPL record. Only one win in their last 16 games. Yes, versus #Spurs. Away from home, scoring 2 goals. We took only 1 point out of a possible 6 this season. They've conceded 67 goals so far, yet attacking Ange ball made only 2 of them. It's who we are, mate. Oh, you've got to laugh. Big up to Johnny. I love Johnny. You've got to laugh. No matter which way you slice it up, no matter which way you cut this pie, it's been truly, truly dreadful, hasn't it? So Werner not signing, Spurs being the only team that Leicester have beaten in about 4 months. It's all happening, isn't it? What else do we know? We know that Daniel Levy has just paid himself out the biggest bonus of any director in the country. Does it surprise any of you? Nah, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. But it annoys us, right? It does annoy us. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat. Let's say hello to a few people. First and foremost, big up to Anthony Clark, always with his cheeky little super stickers, which I do very much appreciate. So thank you very much for that, Anthony. I really do appreciate you. And also a user, I appreciate you as well, said, wonder how big of a player exodus will there be? Well, let's talk about it. We're going to get into it in a minute. We're going to get into a player exodus, a user, because I can't imagine if we don't get Champions League football and we finish 13th, 14th, 12th in the table, I can't imagine that all of these players are going to want to stay. Now, there's the chicken and the egg, isn't there? It's the chicken and egg scenario of, well, the players got us in this position. But as I've said all year, I don't believe personally, a user, that the players are this bad. I truly don't believe they're as bad as what we're seeing. Big up if you're coming over from a Hotspur Hood raid. Big up to you. Big up to Dan E. Zeb is in the house. He said, we need to get rid of so many players and replace them, but not with more kids. If it was up to Lubo, we'd sign loads more. Just kidding if Lubo's watching. But big up to you. Sue, how are we doing? I hope you are well. Big up to you. Raiden inside the house. Rob Frank. How you doing, buddy? Mike Pepper, Finn Rickwood, Daniela Stewart. Big up, Daniela. Hope you're well. Angus is in the house. Angus, are you scared yet about tonight? Are you happy? You think you're going to get anything? And are you going to come and watch it with me on Big Up? By the way, if anyone hasn't joined Big Up, please do. It's a good site. We always have a bit of a laugh over there. And just so you know, this is where you can find the match that I'm going to be kicking off over there at 10 to 7. So straight after this. And there is the link that I'm putting in. Big up to Billy Wilson Neil. Big up to Mark Taylor. How you doing, bro? Big up to Tweak. New channel member. How you doing? George is in the house. Good evening, George. Good evening, Mark. Pro WWE. Tony Rodriguez from Sweden. Big up to you. Who else? We've got Wayne Francois, Daniel 90. We've got the 2 Mark Show. We've got Cookie. It's the Cookmeister, the skinny Cookmeister these days. Big up to you. He puts me to shame. I thought I'd lost a lot of weight. This guy's lost a lot more weight than me. Where are we? Yeah, George, it was, wasn't it? It was all these Spurs fans. You know, the ones that go, well, if Ange wants him, I want him. Well, if Ange jumped off a cliff, actually, they probably would, wouldn't they? Big up to you guys. Ghosted is in the stream. How you doing? Brian Maguire, Ryan McFarland. Big up Phil Coys. Yeah, good evening. Hello, Madrid. Listen, as Spurs fans, we want to see Madrid winning. I've just got this feeling that Arsenal might snatch something tonight. Now, the Bernabeu is a different story, but I've just got a feeling they will. Madrid, interesting team. Big up to Mark Taylor. I won't do everyone, by the way. Big up to Mario Kit Boss, Cold Army inside the house. Yeah, best player since Ginola. You're right. Ryan G is in the house as well. Who else we got? We have got just over 8.5 million a year for Timo Werner. It's utterly mind-blowing, isn't it? It is mind-blowing. Also is mind-blowing as there's 204 of you in here, only 62 likes. Can we get that up immediately, please? And if anyone hasn't subscribed, please make sure that you do, as we're now well above the 17K and looking to get to the next benchmark. Where are we? Henry Thong TV said fans are still backing this fraud manager. I can't believe it. Just can't believe it. Sava, the word you're looking for is crap. Big up, Alex. Yes, a la Madrid. Let's see. I think Madrid will be underwhelming tonight. And then I think at the Bernabeu, we know what they're going to do. We just know what they're going to do. Big up to Ali Garcia. I can't do everyone. We'll be here all night. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. Is there going to be a player exodus? Let's look at this realistically. Okay. If we start with the goalkeepers, what have we got? Okay. What have we got? Big up, by the way, everyone coming in. Lord Rodney, Lappers, D&B Forever, Bethany Curtis, Nige, Pure Coys. Big up, Nige. Love to you, my brother. Look at these. Eugene's in here as well. So listen, I can't say hello to everyone, but hello. Let's start at the back. Let's start at the back. In goal, Spurs have now got Austin, Whiteman, Fraser, Kinski, Vicario. We've got Luca Gunter and Josh Keeley, who's out on loan at Orient, who was very impressive when I went to see them 2 weeks ago. You don't need that many goalkeepers, do you? So what's going to happen? Now, normally you just say, Whiteman and Austin, get rid of them. But the problem you've got with it, I've missed one out, haven't I? No, Whiteman and Austin, you get rid of them. The problem you've got is we're going to need English players for the English player quota. But it makes me laugh. We went and got Kinski. I didn't understand why. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good goalkeeper. I'm not saying he can't be a top goalkeeper in years to come, but it just felt a bit weird when you had Keeley and Gunter and Austin. It just felt a little bit weird. So guys and girls, let me know in the chat, which goalkeepers you're getting rid of? Like, which goalkeepers do you need? We know that Vicario is the number one. Get that. We know that we need Austin, Whiteman or Fraser, surely, right? Surely, or Forster, sorry. Surely we know we need one of them for kind of English purposes, homegrown purposes. So what do we do? So could we see 2 or 3 of them going? I just genuinely don't know how we've ended up with such an array of average goalkeepers and have 7 of them. Let's see. In the goalkeeper area. And when we move to the defensive area, I'm going to start off by talking about Ben Davies. Are we going to see Ben Davies next year again? Are we going to see Ben Davies for what feels like his 30th season in a row? Now, for me, without sounding harsh, I've got nothing against Ben Davies. Ben Davies has been a good squad player, hasn't he? But how long are we going to punch that line out? How many years are we going to throw that into the world? How many years are we just going to keep saying, sorry, I'm on the wrong channel there. Sorry. How many years are we just going to throw that line out and say, yeah, well, listen, he's a good squad player. When are we going to get better? So, for example, surely if next year you've got Dragusin, Romero, Van der Ven, and Danso, do you need Ben Davies as well if you've only got 1 game a week? Now, obviously, that's assuming that we don't win the Europa League, which we still could, and that we don't get Champions League qualification. Do you need all of them plus Davies? And then you've got Ashley Phillips, Dorrington, Vuskovic. Now, 1 or 2 of them might go on loan. Now you've got the added extra of, does Christian Romero stay at Tottenham Hotspur? For me, I can't see a world in which he does. I can't see a world in which I care either. I don't think I can see a world in which he cares. So when people like me are told, he's our best player, like, he don't even care. What we took, like, he doesn't care. Why should I care? So if Romero goes, you've got Romero. If Romero goes, you've got Dragusin, Van der Ven, and Danso as 3 senior centre-halves. Then behind that, you've got Phillips and Vuskovic. Surely, guys, that 5 is enough if you are playing once a week. Now, throw into the equation that if we move to a back 3, obviously, you might have a new manager who plays back 3, then yes, you're going to need another centre-half. But at the moment, if you've got that 5 and you're playing once a week, do you really need another one? Do we really need to be going and buying another centre-half? Because I think there's enough quality between Van der Ven, Danso, and Dragusin to get a good partnership going. I do. I think if you've got the right manager with the right setup, the right tactics, the right coaching, I don't think you need to go and buy another centre half. Now, if Tottenham Hotspur get Champions League football, now we're talking something completely different. If you get Champions League football, then I think you need to go and buy and replace Romero if Romero was to leave. Because I don't even think Champions League football is going to be enough to convince Christian Romero to stay. Now, again, I'll stay. I don't care. For me, I'm not too bothered. So I think there's lots of questions that are going to be answered. Lots of questions that are going to be answered. But when I look at some of these other clubs, they have centre-back partnerships where you think Spurs fans wouldn't want them, but they make it work. I look at the Crystal Palace back three and the wonders that he's done with them, Glasner. Right? I look at them and they've conceded 35 goals. 35 goals. What a wonderful, wonderful achievement. Even look at Everton. Look at Everton. They've conceded, what is it? Sorry, let me just double check that I got that right. Everton have conceded 38 goals. Right? So Everton have even conceded 7 less goals than us. And Everton have got Tarkowski and Braithwaite at the back. You know, Everton have got who in midfield protecting them. So, you know, for me, I think that there's enough there if we're only playing once a week. I do think, however, if we play twice a week, you are going to need to then find reinforcements. So that's going to be interesting and one to watch. When you look at the fullback areas, well, this is interesting because you've got one out-and-out left-back, Udogie. And then you've got Porro and Jed Spence. Now, we know Jed Spence can cover left-back. For me, we know he can do that role. But you can't go into the season, can you, with 3 fullbacks? Now, doesn't Abbott get called up from Notts County and go into the squad? I don't know. Do we need someone better? Do we need another fullback if that happens? Or are we going to roll out the same old line of Ben Davies can cover left back and centre half? I'm going to go with that one. I think that is what Tottenham Hotspur will do. Let me get to some of your comments then as we talk about the defenders. And as I said, bear in mind, you've got Dorrington, you've got Vuskovic, you've got Ashley Phillips, you've got young players that are going to come back into this fold. Who's ready for Lloyd Kelly again? Alex, big up to you. I said Davis needs to leave this summer. Send him to Leeds with Roden on a free transfer. They'll do decent. Fair enough. John Thompson has said Spence, Porro, Udogie, and another left back. Youth team will buy. Romero probably going. Savidi, Danso, Dragoshin, and Vuskovic. Phillips should probably get a go as backup too. Yeah, I don't disagree with this at all, John Thompson. I don't disagree. Ed, yes, absolutely chucking into the mix that Dragoshin will be out for a little bit. They'll have to take that into account. But for me, you know, if you're only playing once a week, it's something you should be able to handle. You've got Archie Gray that fills in at centre-back now as well. Jed Spence, we've seen do it. So I don't think if Romero does go that we need to go and buy another centre-half if we're not in Champions League, for me. Daniela said a player exodus that depends on who is the manager and stays. Big names go. New manager, some may stay. Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. I don't think these players want to play for this manager. I really don't. And I can't blame them. Would you? Would you want to play for this manager? Where are we? Play the new Peter Chetkinski and have Austin rotating. What about Vicario? Are you just ousting Vicario, Philly, from the team? By the way, you tight sod, smash that like button. We should be on 150 by now. Smash that button, people. Phil, so where do we get the idea? Well, loads of reports from people like Romano and that in the past that Romero has had bust-ups with the medical team. Apparently, he had a bust-up with Angepostecoglou. Apparently, you know, he's not been happy. He wants to leave. I don't know. I think a lot of it You can see in his body language, can't you? A lot of it for me, I don't think he wants to be here. I don't care. I don't care. Another overpraised footballer. Tweak, good coaching. Very good coaching. Pass. Can you bear with me 1 second? Sorry, 1 second. Oh, sorry. I'm still here. I'm still here, everyone. Sorry, had to stop the two dogs fighting. Sava, Big Rudd to replace Big Ange. Who's Big Rudd? Who is Big Rudd? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. So you haven't seen any of the reports that Romero's unhappy, that he's had bust-ups with Ange. Him signalling to the Argentinian medical team, oh, thank you very much for all your help getting me fit again. Massive kick in the face to the Spurs medical team. I think the days are numbered for this guy. I truly, truly do. I agree. I think we need a defensive left back. I don't rate Udogie. Maybe a new manager comes in. Maybe a new manager gets the best out of him. But for me, I've been thoroughly underwhelmed. Thoroughly. Hey, Stanley, come on. She's not in there. She's not in there, mate. She's gone out. She's not in there. I've been thoroughly underwhelmed with Udogie for 2 years, if I'm honest. So it is what it is. Angus just said, what's your score prediction for our game tonight? I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. I think you might be able to nick a win. Might be able to. Real Madrid, for me, tend to do their business in their second legs when they're at home. We'll see. Rum Scully has said Phillips over Vuskovic. Interesting. Look, for me, I'm not going to claim to be an expert on either. I know everyone seems to think they're an expert on Vuskovic because they watch some of his goals. I don't care about his goals. I want to know what he does at this end. I want to know what he does as a defender. Everyone going, oh, but look if he scores. Where are we? Gray as right back cover for Spence as left back cover. Andrew, I think the question you have to ask yourself, is Jed Spence, if we're playing once a week, going to want to be left back cover? One, I think he's much better than Udogie, by the way. I think he's 10 times the player Udogie is. Would he really want to be a backup? Just chucking it out there. Football said, does Ange need a third season to get his system to work? Well, all the Ange fans told me, watch what he does in year 2. It's year 2, Sava. You watch. You'll look stupid. I'm watching. I'm not seeing anything. Tommy said, I don't know, Sava. VDV for me needs to go as well. Love him, but I see his career as a doubt. My big thing about VDV, Tommy, is same with Romero, how can Spurs possibly build a team around these two that miss so much football? You can't build a team around players that are always out injured. I don't want them as my starting centre-backs next year because they miss so much football. That's just for me. I'm not saying I don't rate Van der Ven. Again, I've put plenty of question marks on Van der Ven. How good is he defensively? We'll find out. But listen, for me, I think you've got to look and say, look at the teams around us. They tend to, build around solid defenses is what wins you things, and we just don't. Alex has said, I don't even think Plonker Ange wants to be here. Ask the guy deep down he wants to. Mate, I don't think he wants to be here either. I think, look at some of the things he's saying lately. I've fallen out of love with football. If Spurs want to replace me, all of these sort of words that he's saying give me the, not on the same level, but Conte vibes. When Conte, everyone kept saying, oh, why do you want Conte out? I said, Conte don't even want to be here. Look at Conte in his press conferences. That man did not want to be at Tottenham Hotspur in the end, did he? Let's be brutally honest. Craig. Let me be very clear. Oh, calm down, everyone. Someone's going to be very clear. I'm not bothered about the results. Ange's world class. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it. Good. While you're not bothering about that, maybe not bother and go and do some research on football. I have seen some links to Calvert-Lewin. I am choosing to ignore them. I believe even Spurs can't go that low. I'm sure even Tottenham Hotspur can't sink that low to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a free. You watch how many of our fans, if we did get him on a free, though, would start saying things like, oh, if Ange wants him, and what a good bit of business from Daniel Levy. Come on, we all know how this works. You know, remember that Gary guy who told me that Spurs were signing Eze, Doué, and Neto in one window? He truly believed it as well. These people aren't right. They truly believe what they say. Mick, bang on. Bang on. Van der Ven starting right now is a bonus. I don't even look at it anymore and think of his name. When the team lineups are out, I'm like, oh, Van der Ven's playing. That's a bonus. Yeah, I'm like you. He's never fit. Never fit. I'm not blaming him, but yeah. Bang on. Absolutely bang on. I bang on. I'm at the stage where right now, as long as Ange is the one that goes, I'll be happy. But yeah, listen, Gaurav, you keep saying Big Rod. I don't know who this is. I don't know what you're talking about. We have Solanke. Yes, we do. We have Solanke. And aren't we all the better for it? Dominic Calvert-Lewin is perfect for Ange Ball. Everyone's perfect for Ange Ball, apparently. Everyone's perfect for it, but apparently no one knows what it is. Never mind. The fruit. Let's bear the fruit. Let's bear the fruit. Sava, you're going to look stupid when the fruit is bared. I wonder if those people would come back on and we could re-watch the video of me and this, like with Gary, for example. I wonder, or Alan from Spurs Logic TV. I wonder if we could re-watch the video and we could see just how wrong they were. And they're still peddling out the same crap. I'm still seeing Alan from Spurs Logic. Nice guy. Got nothing against him personally. But even though he's been so painfully wrong, his videos are still trying to justify to him and his viewers why they've not been wrong. I'm just, it's madness. Absolutely madness at this point. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look at the midfield. Talked about the defence. Let's have a look at the midfield if we're talking about which players might come and go during the summer. You've got, let's start with central midfielders. You've got Papa Sarr, Bentancur, and Basuma as your senior, your three senior centre mids. You've then got Gray, who I've been told is a central midfielder. Been told he's a central midfielder. And Bergvall. Now, on top of that, you've then got James Maddison and Kulusevski, who are more of the attacking midfielder, but that makes it 7 central midfield players, if you will. Now, if you've got those 7, you've then got players that are out on loan, like Jamie Donnelly. You've got players like Hall. You've got players like Devine, right? Yeah, all right, mate. All right, come on. All right. I know you want your mummy. I know. Sorry, everyone. Stanley's woken up from a nap and is a bit needy. So you've then got all of those players coming back. Yes, mate. Thank you. You've got yes, thank you. I love you too. You've got all those players coming back. And again, if we're going to go by the premise that we're playing one game a week, yeah, if we're going to play one game a week, where do they all fit in? Where on earth do they all fit in? Now, I'm of the opinion, I don't know about you guys, I'm of the opinion that Spurs need a new centre mid pairing. I think that we need new centre mids, and yet we've got loads. So the question is going to be, who's going to be here next year out of those lot and who isn't? Who isn't? For me, I don't care who goes. I'll be honest, not one of those midfielders, it would bother me if I woke up and saw that they'd gone. Now, I'll leave Maddison and Kulu out of this for the moment. For me, I don't think Archie Gray's a central midfielder good enough to play at Tottenham Hotspur. From what I've seen of him as a footballer, I think he needs... For me, I'd send him out on loan somewhere that's going to guarantee him 38 games, 40 games a season playing in central midfield. Bergvall, I do think, has got a lot about him in midfield. I don't go overboard. I'm seeing people talk about 100 million. I do think Bergvall's got something. Again, I don't go overboard about these players. So Bergvall I would keep. Now, Saar, Basuma and Bentancur, I think it's all going to depend on who the manager is. No point any of those three being at this football club under big Ange Postecoglou. No point. Absolutely no point at all. None of them are played correctly. None of them seem to like playing for him. And none of them he's getting the best out of. So if all three of those were to go, you need more. But how many do you need? Again, if you are playing once a week, again, this is if you're playing once a week because you haven't made Champions League, how many of them do you need? Because it's okay saying, oh, well, these two are going to play this today, and then on Thursday in the Europa League, those two are going to play. And you can rotate Maddison and Kulu that way as well. But when you're playing once a week and people are training all week long, and then it's, oh my God, right, well, hang on, we've got a game this Saturday and then next Saturday, how do you get them all game time? How do you blood any kids? So for me, that central midfield area is really, really important. For me, I think that with Basuma and Bentancur and Saar, not saying I don't want better, you would see better performances with a proper coach. That's not to say I care if any of them leave. I know people don't like to listen, but I'm not to care if any of them leave. So, for example, if in the summer we sold Bentancur, Basuma, kept Saar, but bought in 2 senior pros to play in midfield, I'm happy with that. Someone like this. We had fans in the summer saying, oh, you take Locatelli. Like, let that sink in. You take Locatelli. Yes, I would take Locatelli all day, every day. He'd be the best midfielder in our club by a country mile. But not Spurs fans. We had Spurs fans going, he wouldn't suit the Premier League. Why? I just don't get it. But anyway, so let me go through some of your comments now about the midfielders. Let's see what you lot think. Here we go. Rum Scullier said, Basuma, Bergvall, Maddison keep. Sell the rest. Bentancur, Saar and Gray. Well, I can assure you that Gray is not going to be sold. One, because imagine the meltdown from Lubo. Second of all, he's not going to be sold because we just spent big money on him for a player of his age. So he won't be going. That's why I said this year I would have given him a loan out somewhere where he could play and develop in his position. Apparently he's a centre mid. Daniela said, if you happen to lose on Thursday, Sava, what will these Ange say then? Well, for me, I don't think it should even matter about just one Europa Cup tie against Frankfurt. I can't believe they're even saying anything now, Daniela, if we're going to be completely honest. Yash has said, if Spurs spent 250 million and got players like Reinders, Jonathan David, I mean, look, first of all, we're not going to spend 250 million in the summer. Daniel Levy's kind of giving us an indication, right, through the message in the club finances last week. He's not going to spend 250 million. However, Jonathan David is on a free. I know there's a bit of money involved for his agent and a signing on fee, but Jonathan David, I believe that deal would cost something like 25 million all in all. Reinders, I can't imagine why he would want to come to Tottenham Hotspur, but it is what it is. Thank you, Tweak. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's just a bit noisy as a puppy. John said, this annoyed me last year. 7 midfielders and everyone thinking we're going to buy a 6. That's what I'm saying. Some of them have got to go. I think one of the first things a new manager would do would come in and go, I need a 6. I truly believe that. But hey, Andrew said midfield, get rid of Basuma and Saar, replace with one good experienced leader to help the kids. Amen. Amen. Somebody to come in and teach the kids how to play. That's what's needed. By the way, what else is needed? There's 300 of you in here. We should have 160, 170 likes. We've only got 120. Come on, people. We're better than that over here, aren't we? Simon has said Johnny Cardoso is now having second thoughts on joining us. Johnny Cardoso. Yeah, listen, I've seen Johnny Cardoso. I've seen him have some really good games, some anonymous games. I don't know. I don't know. Is he the guy? I don't know. I don't know. No doubt if we sign him, though, we'll see the videos telling us why he's the greatest player since sliced bread. Adam thinks that Basuma, Bentancur and Saar can all go. Jack has said, what is it with these Ange and people saying, oh, wait, Sava to the end of the season? When that is where Ange wins something, mate, we're out of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup and Europa hanging on. Listen, he's got to win the Europa League, right, to come out of this season with anything, with any respect. If not, he's just simply an awful football manager. Stanley could play at left back. He's got the engine for it, but he does like to nap after half an hour of playing. So he might not be great after the first 30 minutes. Simon also says Bissouma and Benson Core can go. Chem said Cardoso is just one of Levy's cynical moves ahead of USA World Cup. Oh, Daniel Levy. Calvert-Lewin has 17 goals in the last 4 years. Oh, I'm just waiting. I almost want us to sign him, right? Just to see how many fans would start going, to be honest, it's a good signing. Yeah, it's what we need. And if you look at the way Angeball plays and his hold-up play, and he's brilliant at, you just know it's coming. You just know it's coming. John has said Gray, Sarr, Bergvall, Bentancur. Though I don't think any of our midfield are good enough. I will say that Gray and Bergvall will be good in the future and should get game time. Yeah, listen, I'm with you on Bergvall. Great. I need to see more of him midfield to give a proper assessment, but I haven't seen anything from him that, again, you hear me say this all the time. I haven't seen anything from him that makes me go, yeah, he's pulling up trees or he's brilliant. He looks like another young, shaky kid to me. We already have more. Oh, don't. Infuriating that we don't play Mikey Moore. Absolutely infuriating. By the way, just so you know, at 10-2, we will be going straight over to Big Up. So if anyone from here does want to join on Big Up, we always have a chilled one over there. It's a good laugh. We just have general football chats, chuck in some gifts. We watch the game loosely. We give you all the scores from across the grounds as well. And it's a growing platform. So if anyone hasn't joined that yet, I have just put the link in the chat. Alex has said the issue with Spurs, Sav, is that every midfielder usually has a good first season for us, then fall off in the second. I think they're all enough to be decent squad players for us under a proper coach. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, we need better. Like we do. We need better for sure. I don't doubt it. Alfie has said, sorry, Sava, you're wrong with Donnelly. Ange played him as a left back in pre-season. Absolutely embarrassing. I was talking to some people at Orient the other night, and they were telling me about Donnelly, and said, "Oh, we can't believe he's not with you guys." I was like, "Well, in pre-season, we played him at left back." Ed wants to sign Wharton. I like Wharton. Just think how much Palace are going to charge you for Wharton. Think about it. Belizian on board. Can Højbjerg come back? Don't know. Can he? Anyone? Højbjerg? Anybody taking Højbjerg? Normally, that's like the bat signal to Queen Ellie, isn't it? Queen Ellie will be here soon. And out saying Reinders is never. Yeah, I don't think Reinders is going to come to Tottenham Hotspur. Jordan, absolutely. We don't get players like that. We do not get players like that. I can't believe that Thomas Muller would want to come to Tottenham either, if I'm going to be brutally honest. And I'm not sure at his age that that's exactly what we need, but why not, eh? Where are we? Reese has said, Bergvall, Madison, keep. The rest can all go. Nap after half an hour. Yeah. He plays like a lunatic for half an hour, Stanley, and then just goes, like, he just conks out. It's brilliant to watch. He's asleep in front of me right now. Just now, you couldn't get in my face enough. Now he's... Yeah, listen, I like Cardoso. I'm not sure how he fits into a crazy Ange formation. So if Ange isn't here, then he could be a good player. Look, if the new manager comes in and wants Cardoso, fine. But I just don't trust Ange with anybody, if I'm going to be brutally honest. These rumours must be wind-ups because there's no way we have scouts employed at Tottenham advocating Dominic Solanke. Mate, we signed Timo Werner twice. So anything is possible at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, isn't it? Anything is possible at Tottenham Hotspur. Mark, I said, bring your gift game if you're coming to Big Up. Yeah, gift game is strong over on Big Up. We do like a gift. It makes it interesting in the chat. Stanley, Mummy's here. Go and get Mummy. Yes, the ACCA tonight. Now, here's an interesting one. I've put one wild card. Well, I say wild card. I've got Sheffield United to beat Millwall at Sheffield United. I've got Bolton to beat Rotherham at Bolton. I've got Chesterfield to beat Gillingham at Chesterfield. Then I've got Middlesbrough at home to beat Leeds. Now, Middlesbrough this year have let me down on 6 ACCAs. They are 4-1 tonight to beat Leeds at home. 4-1. But I've stuck them in there anyway because Leeds haven't won for a few games. They've drawn their last. Leeds have won one of their last 6. You know what's going to happen now, don't you? Leeds will be 2-0 up in half an hour. But come on, Michael Carrick. Yeah, of course he did tweak. Of course he did. He had a goalless streak of about 16, 17 games, played Spurs, and then all changed. All changed, and he scored. Daniela has said Calvert-Lewin can keep Van der Ven and Romero company in the medical room. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Delap, lots of talk today about Delap. Apparently, Man United want Delap and Cunha. I think Delap and Cunha might revolutionise Man United's forward line. Just saying. I don't know. Delap to Spurs. Would Delap join, knowing that we've got the goal scoring machine rather that is Dominic Solanke? Would he sign? I don't know. We'll see. Solanke and Calvert-Lewin together. Opposition fans going to call them the Dom-Doms. Mike Zappa. Oh, Mike, can you imagine? The worrying thing is, you know, when people in this fan base say, can you imagine? I can. I've seen this club do all sorts of stupid shit. I can imagine lots of this stuff happening. I really, really can. Ian said, with how poor Tottenham are at the moment and not having any European football next season, surely we need a manager who can coach players and has an eye for talent. Glasner is my choice. I'd take Glasner all day long. I'd take Glasner. I think he's a very, very underrated football manager. He's won a European trophy. He coaches well, sets up a defence well. All day long. All day long. Terry has said Cherky will be a top signing. Do you know what? I like Cherky as a player, but apparently there's a lot of noise around him, an attitude problem. I don't know. Again, I read what you lot read, but apparently he has an attitude problem. So we'll see. We'll see. Eze, I'd love Eze. I love Eze. I'd take him in a heartbeat. Sort of player who gets you off your feet. Reese has said Romero, Adogi, Sarr, Bentancur, Basuma, Johnson, Son, Solanke, Richarlison, Davis, Kulu, they can all go. I mean, that's most of the squad. That's a lot of players to let go. Individually, though, there's no one there where I'd go, oh my God, they're gone. But I hear what you mean. Big up to Danny Kiriakou. Said, who are you picking? Stanley or Brennan Johnson? Both fall asleep after 30 minutes. Could argue Brennan only lasts 10 minutes. Who are you picking? I've got to be biased to my Stanley. I'm picking my Stanley, aren't I? Picking my little Stanley. Ed M has said, only problem with Big Up is it's so glitchy on the phone. I don't ever watch it on the phone. I don't know, my man. I don't know. I'm sure that will get ironed out. But other than that, make sure you get over there, people. The link is in the chat, and I will be going over there in 15 minutes, and we'll do the build-up for Arsenal, Real Madrid. And tomorrow night, we've got the watch-along of PSG versus Aston Villa on Big Up. Then back on Thursday night on YouTube for Tottenham Hotspur v Frankfurt. I'm hoping to be back by about 6:30 for that because I'm doing some filming for The Sun or the news group, the News UK, doing some filming with them and some other content creators tomorrow and Thursday day. The Dom-Doms is mad. Now, let's move to our forward areas, right? Let's move to the forward areas. We're talking about exodus of players, are we? Right. So next year, let me paint a scene for you. Tottenham are playing one game a week because we've got no Europe. Right? Let's just say we are. Could win the champion. We could win the Europa League. Changes this conversation. If we don't have Europe, you have got Johnson, Odegaard, Moore, Yang, Son, Solanke, Richarlison, Lancashire. Am I missing anyone? Hill has to come back. Solomon has to come back. It's a lot of footballers. Now, granted, half of them you could probably roll off that are going, right? You could probably say Richarlison might be going, Hill, Solomon, maybe Yang back out on loan, maybe Moore out on loan, or Moore might leave, who knows? But again, for me, I still think we need better up there. So how do we get all of these players minutes? And this is the problem. In the last 2 years, we've brought in 17 players, I believe. Page 3. We're doing 17 players, I believe, for Angepostecoglou. Yet we've just filled out the squad. And now we're talking about more mass exodus. It's a bit crazy. Who you keeping? Which forwards you keeping? You've got to remember, Kulu can go into that bucket as well because he can play out on the right-hand side. That was me even removing Werner. So, I mean, on the wings, you've got Johnson, Solomon, Hill, Odegaard, Yang, Moore. It's a lot of players, isn't it? It's a lot of footballers. So what are we going to do? Valise. So sorry. Yeah, Valise. Hang on, I'll tell you what. God, I've forgotten a few, haven't I? Valise, Scarlett. It's a lot of footballers that for me, I don't care if any of those players I just mentioned aren't at Tottenham next year. Mikey Moore, obviously, I don't want to go. Mikey Moore as a kid. You got a Jay from the youth team as well. So this is going to be interesting. Money Mace has said, for me, Richie, Solomon, Hill has to be sold. Yang, Lancashire on loan. I'd personally keep Son, but on the bench unless the next manager can get the best out of him. Do you think that Sonny would want to stay, though, and just be a bench player? I think you've got to ask yourself that question. I think you should send Moore on loan and sell Richie. I don't doubt. I actually think both those things should happen as well. I agree. All of them I would release. A new midfield. So Phil wants to sell all our centre mids and bring in all new centre mids. See, according to different people, a lot's got to be done this summer. And I don't think a lot is going to be done this summer. So if a lot isn't going to be done, I think you've got to get a coach. And now, yeah, Marios has reminded me, what if we trigger this option? If we trigger this option, I can't see anyone brand new coming into Tottenham Hotspur. We will then have Tell, Moore, Yang, Odegaard, Son, Richie, Solanke, Johnson, Valise, Scarlett, Lancashire, Donnelly, Kulu. It's so much mediocrity in one squad. It's utterly mental that they have let this happen. Send Solanke on loan to a Spanish second division or something. I love that. Or something. Just something. But look, it goes to show, and the whole point of this conversation was it goes to show that when people say, oh my gosh, we don't have a squad, we've got a huge squad. Now, do we have a quality squad? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But for me, I think that you've almost got to get rid of a lot of these fringe players. If you're going to be playing once a week, I think you've got to get rid of a lot of these fringe players. You've got to keep a trimmed squad, and you've got to play once a week next year and hope for not many injuries and rely on some youth. Start giving the Dorringtons, the Halls, the Donnellys some minutes, the Moores. Will he do it? I guess it all depends on who the manager of this football club is at the time. It really, really does boil down to that for me. Let's have a look at some of your comments about this. We will 100% buy Tell. That's a worry for me. That's a worry for me. I haven't seen anything that makes me go, yeah. I haven't. And listen, I'm not saying he can't be good in the future. I'm not saying it. Please, I'm not going to judge a kid and say he's going to be rubbish. In 2-3 years, he could be a brilliant player. But for right now, I don't know. If you buy him, play him. If you buy him, he's your left winger next year. Sell Son. Do I think we could do better than that? Absolutely. Stephen said, I'd be happy to let Kulu and Romero go. Overrated. Kulu has had good moments, but most of the... So I've got a really sharp pain in my stomach. Kulu has good moments, but most of the time not good enough. Get Solanke out unless a good coach gets the best from him. Damning words there from Stephen. Terry said midfield needs almost a total rebuild. James has said, I put 100 quid on Rice to get booked. It's at 5-1 tonight. Rice. 60 million. The sheriff is saying, are you talking about Tell? I mean, for me, I think if you had good scouts, you get a better free transfer than you would paying 50, 60 million for Tell, whatever it is. You're so lucky you don't have... Oh, don't. I can't believe they signed him twice. I can't believe they signed him the first time. I definitely can't believe we've signed him the second time. And Jouter said no for Tell. Alfie said, if we buy Tell on a permanent for 60 million, then there really is something wrong with our scouts and higher ups. This. Absolutely this. Absolutely this. Money Mace said, think this summer will be filled with change. A new manager can see a lot of players being sold or genuinely just leaving. Hopefully some new players too. And maybe, who knows, a new board too. The whole thing needs to be changed for me. It all needs to be gutted out from the bottom for me. But I agree with you. Sava, is there any chance of Spurs to get the 8th position? Fulham are currently 11 points clear of us. 7 games to go. I can't see it at all. We'd have to have a massive game swing on Fulham. I can't see it in any way, shape or form. Buy Hoddle out his TNT contract. Big up the sheriff. Oh, I'd love that. Bring Hoddle back in some sort of capacity. Absolutely. Dom. I like that. That's good. Glug Pickwell. Love that. Glug said, let's hope our players don't do a Danny Rose. Refuse to be sold. Oh, yes. Maximum Phoenix said, love your cynicism, Sava. I don't think I'm being cynical. I really don't. I just feel I'm being honest about it. The same way I was in the summer. I know I was told I was very wrong back in the summer, but it looks like I was very right. And hey, I don't think I'm cynical, but thank you. It's My Face said, maybe buy Tell for 15 million and loan him out. Never 50 million and not ready to start. Well, I don't think they're going to sell him for 15 million, but I hear you. Phil, oh, hang on, where's... That didn't come up, Phil. Sorry. I was just about to put your comment up. Where'd it go? There we go. Get fees, Bentoncourt. Get out, Bentoncourt, Consumer and Saar. Keep Madison and Bergfowl. Phil, as long as they can go and... I suppose it depends on how much money he wants to spend on midfielders. Unless he's got any midfield free transfers lined up to come into the football club. Alex has said, problem is the drop-off is mad from our first 11 to the rest of the squad. Alex, I don't think it is. I don't think there's standout players at Spurs. I don't think there is. That's just my opinion. I don't think there is, if we're going to be brutally honest. But hey, that's just me. A user said, put Ange in goal. I'm sure he'd moan about something. Where are we? Oh, Champions League. Sorry, it's what's about to kick off. I just seen Angus say, Sava, it's about to kick off. What's about to kick off? What's about to kick off? Your game don't kick off for 15 minutes, mate. Respectfully, if any club pays over 10 million for Basuma, they'd... No, come on. Listen, come on. Basuma, you watched... I bet you the next club Basuma goes to, he does a really good job. I bet you he does a really good job, and I bet you he's played properly. Big up. Thank you. Congratulations on 17K. Thank you very much. We have flown past that now. We haven't had one single subscriber tonight, though, which is really, really sad. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Bergvall stands out for me. Yeah, we all know that me and you have got very different standards when it comes to footballers. I don't think he stands out. I think he does a good job. I think he's done well for a player of that age, but I don't know what he stands out at doing. He doesn't score goals. He doesn't assist. He gives the ball away quite a lot. He runs around a lot. But again, Phil, pedestal, players on pedestals too soon. Hey, Sav, what do you think of Sessegnon? 3 goals in 5. Yeah, I still don't want him. He's still not good enough for me. He's still not good enough for me. Listen, guys and girls, I am going to leave it there after Rinketic's message saying Spurs need a few players with the balls. Like, I'd take Hjulmand, I'd take Friendrop and Stiller. I'd take all 3 of them at Tottenham. Big up to you. Listen, I will be starting. Does he? Yamal for his age stands out. I think Lewis Skelly for his age stands out. I don't think he does. Again, I just think we overrate players that don't really do a lot. I think he looks busy. I think he's got potential. I think you can see there's a footballer in there. But even against Southampton the other day, he tries to do so much that he gives the ball away so much. Again, I agree. I think Nwaneri stands out. I don't think Bergvall does yet. Guys, I am going to leave it there. Listen, this link here that I'm posting, I'm going to be live in 4 minutes on Big Up. Please come over and join us. Smash that link. It takes 20 seconds to join. Come and join us. Have a laugh. We'll have a bit of fun. Get the gifts in, and we'll take it from there. Take care, and I will see you on Big Up very shortly. Some of you come over there and join if you haven't. See you later. Bye bye.